Hello, everyone.
Hello, good evening, Professor Patrick. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Jaya. Okay, hi, good. Okay, okay, great to see all of you again. Okay, so tonight we will carry on the very interesting forum. Hi, Bobo and Puno, right? Yeah, okay. So let's start today. Okay, today our topic is talking about cooperative intelligence, right? So exploring the human and AI in a team dynamic team environment. Okay, very interesting topic. Quite a lot of things to cover. Okay, so first, if we talk about group dynamic, so normally we will look at the social identity theory, right? Why this theory is very important? Because the theory actually will is talking about individual derived identity and the self-esteem from the group, right? So many times that we find that we starting a group, we may not be comfortable because we don't know what is our position, right? So this theory is talking about how do we explore the self-esteem from a group, and sometimes if not managing the social identity properly, then we may be creating a lot of conflict, right? So that's why this theory is very useful. Then after that, then we are exploring about the how could we form a group, right? In the group dynamic, the forming a group actually we have five stages. First, of course, forming a group. Initial stage of a group formation, and also we will look at the storming, right? So how can we managing conflict and competition in the group? Because when we want to grow, our nature is to show our capabilities so that we can, we can be identified, right? So we are notified by the other team member. So sometimes we may have conflict and a competition, right? So members start to assert their position, right? And of course, end of the day, the group also start to establish a norm and role, and then this is what we call norming. After that, performing, right? The group start work effectively toward the goals. Of course, end of the day, we hope that we are able to achieve the adjoining stages. The team has achieved the goal and deliver the final result and product, right? So this theory, this group formation is often applied in the organization, the business group formation. The other approach is talking about system theory. So they will see group as systems. The group contain of the interrelated parts, just like the car machinery, right? They see a group like machinery, a system. So each members behave, the behavior will impact the entire group, right? One small component in the airplane can cause a big disaster, right? So they see that important to define all the parts, all the member behavior, very important. And this behavioral impact, they will change in one part affect the whole system, right? So it's why we always say that if we hire a wrong staff or the team member, sometimes it may jeopardize the whole team behavior. We have another theory talking about psychodynamic. They will explore a lot of unconscious motivation, right? So they will look at the defense mechanism for the group. Sometimes we also it may influence other group member also. A social exchange theory is very practical many times that we see, especially in the business environment, right? So we see cost benefit. So what kind of cost and what is the benefit you achieve, right, from the group? So it will focus on the social interaction with the group, aim to maximize the reward, at the same time also seek to minimize the cost. Sometimes as a human, we always evolve in different type of groups, formal group and informal group, right? So formal group is established by organization. So if you're the entrepreneur, you're the founder, you will define the structure for your organization. Why we do that? Because the aim is to achieve specific goal. For example, what team, the committee of an organization, right? The informal groups, it develop naturally. You don't design it. Okay? It's naturally they will develop this group. It's not established by organization and sometimes friends group. Right? So somewhere you see that in organization when you go for lunch and the member, right? They don't really go lunch with. the same group, right? So they may go out lunch with other friends within the organization, right? So that is the we call formal and informal groups. We have a primary and secondary groups. Primary group involve very close personal relationship. And for example, if you're not talking about business environment, you talk about the family, right? Family is obviously a primary group. Second group is more impersonal and goal-oriented because certain reason they group together, especially co-workers. In a lot of movie production, right? You find that when they have an idea of producing any certain movie, then they form a group. Then the group is not necessarily hired by the company, right? So it's mainly it's a kind of all co-workers working together to achieve the movie production purposes. So we also have task and social group, right? So talk about social dynamic group structure. Okay, so there's a lot of group formation. So task group they focus on specific objective, not even a project, right? It's objective. So it's goal oriented, and social group is basically is prioritize interpersonal relationship and emphasize the socialization. And if you look at our digital world, the social media also they have a lot of different group, right? So we can consider that is the social group. So when we look at the group, there's a different group roles. What is the group roles? We expect behavior linked with specific position, right? So for example, if you're this, you're based on your task, you may be coordinator, you may be initiator, you initiate the project. And some of that is maintenance growth because we need to hold on the whole organization, right? We need someone to maintain the behavior of the group. So in this case, the encourager and harmonizer are the one that help us to keep the group in healthy condition. Of course, we have individual role like aggressor, blockers, all these, they play a different role from a case per case basis. So what's a group norm? A group norms is the definition of group norm is shared expectation so that all of them form together, they have same expectation. And they hope that they will able to guide the behavior from the group. That's the reason that we have a norm, right? We cannot put everyone together, they just do whatever thing they like, right? So we need to have a similar thing. This is called norm. The function of the norm is very important. It will shape the group identity. It will enhance the predictability so that we know the group is doing something, it's moving to certain direction. Of course, the aim is to facilitate the coordination. Yeah, the type of norm, right? We can write down as a rule, but I think we all nowadays a lot of it's the young staff, right? Young team member, they don't want to just look at the board and follow everything stated code. So they may have some implicit norm is an unspoken behavior, right? So we need to understand that not everything you can write down and become a norm, right? So it's why AI cannot just replace the whole entire group formation, right? But it can facilitate. We'll talk about that later. So we want to look at what is a factor influencing cohesion. A cohesion is very important. If we don't work together, then it's very difficult to achieve a certain task. So definition of group cohesion, strength of relationship among the members, the degree of unity. Unity is very important, right? So family, country, organization, they're all focusing on the unity. So why we need to have high cohesion? It's better collaboration among the member. It will increase the satisfaction so that we feel good. When we're working at a team or we call dream team, right? Of course, it will enhance the productivity. What kind of factor will influence the cohesion? Interpersonal attraction, right? Yeah. So how can you, because, sometimes you don't pay attention, so actually you may accidentally, affect a lot of people, especially the emotional factor. Commitment to the group norm and the group size. Sometimes the group too small or too big may not be a good idea. Homogeneity, and of course, end of the day, we want to achieve our task successfully. When we put everyone together, we want to achieve the group think. We always say that, right? You put two person together, they are able to, generate much more idea, even more than two people, right? So it's excessive cohesion in group is very important because it lead to group think, and we desire for harmony, overriding a lot of critical thinking, right? We know there's a lot of format of the group that we are going to discuss today. And of course, the main aim is within the group, we need to have very effective communication. Sometimes we call cornerstone of success group dynamic. Is a process of communication. Clear communication is a process of sharing idea, information, and feeling, right? Including the verbal and non-verbal channel. It's why certain time that we still need to have face-to-face discussion with our group member. What kind of communication pattern? It can be centralized. One member, the boss is there, big boss here, then we better quickly quiet, right? So they sometimes we may see this scenario, right? So one member dominate the whole communication. That's called centralized pattern. A decentralized communication distribute evenly among members. Okay, so each of them have a good or bad, right? But end of the day, we need to strike a very good balance as well. Okay, good. Of course, when we look at the barrier, yes, we have a barrier, right? The barrier to effective communication, noise, right? Imagine that it's decentralized communication. Everyone, they speak at the same time, a lot of noise, isn't it? Right. Then also can be physical or psychological, right? A physical, it means that you generate noise or creating a very unpleasant behavior, but psychologically also the way that you feel, people can feel your sentiment, right? So there is a psychological noise. A different interpretation of same message. We all practicing some exercise before, right? Same message, but it can have different type of interpretation. If we need to have, if we talk about the international team, we need to pick a language which is commonly understand, right? And of course, EI, the interference. Emotional is very important during the meeting. Sometimes some people just get into angry mode very fast, and some people just happy all the time, right? But without participating in the meeting, right? So this is a lead to a lot of miscommunication, the emotional interference. So all these things we need to consider. Of course, if we're talking about the method, okay, of decision making, yes, sometimes we cannot take too long to make decision because it will drag the whole meeting, and in end of the day, a lot of delay, right? So certain time we need to have consensus. So all members agree on the decision, right? So or majority of the member agree on the decision. So that is one way. But consensus is all member agree on the decision. Majority vote is based on the majority. Minority is small group make decision. It means that they may be the big organization, right? Only the committee member will make a decision. The small group will make a decision. Expert, sometimes we see that if anything happen to government or some incident, right? So instead of getting the government officer to make decision, make the investigation, so they will call a team of member expert, right? Expert team to do an investigation and they will give you conclusion or report. Authority rule, the leader or authority will just jump in to make a decision. So there's many way of making decision. It's very interesting. Depends on you as a leader, right? As entrepreneurs, what way you want to implement. Yes, the challenging and technique. The in the group decision making, right? So group thinking is very useful. Group think, tendency for consensus without critical reasoning, right? So that's good. Okay, so that everyone being convinced. Polarization, it means extreme position taken from the group member. Right? Sometimes you can see that it will break into two groups, each of them have very different position, and that will be a big problem. Social loafing is reduced effort by individual, okay? In the group, we need to be careful. And technique to enhance decision quality. Delphi method, structured communication technique. Okay, sometimes we can implement a very structured communication technique so that we can able to have a clear path Brainstorming, we all very familiar with this, right? This is generating idea in a group setting. Brainstorm idea before we go into detail. Normal group technique, structure method for group brainstorming. Some companies they will do brainstorming in a small group. After that, they come up with an idea, then they do a brainstorming in the high level, right? So there's a lot of way, and we need to take note on that because sometimes it can be lead to reduce the quality of the decision. So type of conflict, what type of conflict we encounter in the organization, right? Type of conflict can be the task conflict. We did not very clearly define the goal. That is a problem. As a leader, you must be very clear and communication your goal to your team member clearly, right? So otherwise, we have a lot of task conflict. A relationship conflict is not because the goal is not defined, it's because I don't like to work with this person or this person don't like to work with me, right? So it's a more for personal incompatibility. And it can be disputes if the whole process is did not work out well. So before you assign the task, you need to make sure that the process can be achievable, right? Or it can be, can be challenging. So this kind of process conflict is very critical. And we sometimes with the nature of conflict, it depends on the can be on the group. Sometimes it's not no choice. So conflict is not necessary to be bad. Sometimes we call constructive conflict. You mean that there's a lot of argument, during the decision making, but they are all from it's professional matter, right? It's not towards the person, it's towards the matter. So then after heavy discussion, then you have decision. Of course, certain conflict can lead into disruption, right? So it depends how we manage. So what kind of conflict resolution strategy that we can apply in our group dynamic? Um, one is a avoidance, ignore the conflict, did not address the issue, right? So yeah, so it's a one way you can do. The other way is we call accommodation. We look at the other views. Don't just look at our view. Even you're the boss, you're the entrepreneurs. So you prioritize the relationship over the personal goal. So that is not easy, right? So sometimes we want to achieve a certain goal as a leader, you may want to cut short the time, right? But you know that, you must explain clearly to your staff. Otherwise, they may feel that, there's no point next time I give you the feedback because anyway, you will make your own decision, right? So you need to balance very well between relationship and the goal. And of course, each of them, they also have their own personal goal also. Competition, yes, you can introduce a competition. So all of them they will seeing to improve themselves, seeing as an improvement. Okay, again, there must be a healthy competition. Compromise. A compromise is a middle ground approach which party give up certain things. They don't insist the whole thing, right? So they will let go certain things, but end of the day they will achieve their overall accepted, what we call acceptable solution, right? So compromise a bit, right? Collaboration, of course, there's a win-win situation. We see today there's a lot of conflict going on among the countries, among the industry, right? Yeah, and that kind of conflict, end of the day, we are all emphasizing on the win-win situation. I think it's the best. If you can cultivate this kind of win-win situation in your group, in your company, that would be great. As I mentioned just now, constructive conflict is okay. It's okay to have a conflict in your team, but this is what we call is the healthy disagreement. A destructive conflict is bad. It's a harmful clash that will lead to hostility, reduce the morale, and end of the day it will break down everyone's relationship, right? So take note on that, how we're handling conflict. So you need to demonstrate what kind of leadership skill, what style are you as a leader when you're managing your team, right? Yes, we have different type, right? Yeah. So if the leader making a decision all the time, right? So this is what we call autocratic, right? The decision made collectively, and then your style is the democratic, right? So you minimum sometime we let the group to decide. Okay, laissez-faire, fairly. approach is talking about the leader actually back off is a servant. We call servant leadership. So very minimum the leadership and let the group make a decision. Right? So that is the another style. Influence, of course, what kind of influence we need to apply in the group dynamic? The leadership significantly affect how the group function. We all agree, right? So how you form the group, what kind of style you implement, it will badly or positively affect the group behavior. Of course, we understand that you cannot have the same style for various group behavior, right? So you need to understand different style. But that is not easy, okay? Because we as human, we cannot change our style easily, right? So that's why. So there's a few pointer for you to have a effective leadership when you are managing your team as an entrepreneur. Uh, Sometimes we call the just now mentioned about different style, right? So adaptability in leadership. Effective leader, they will adjust the style, right? So you need to understand that. Building trust, trust is the best. Even you disagree with their idea, but they can trust you. That's very important. Building trust, please. Providing direction so that all of us will know that where the leader is heading. The leader did not clearly define the guidance and the direction is a disaster, right? You kill the morale of the whole team, right? Direction is very important. When we conflict come in, the leader must find a way to resolve the conflict within the group. Okay, remember, if you don't resolve the conflict with the group, you cannot handle the bigger group, right? Or even the whole company, right? We call transformational leadership. That's good. Instead of solving particular issue, you inspire them. They follow you, and you motivate them, and let them to resolve the conflict among themselves or motivate themselves. That is the best. We call transformational leadership. Transactional leadership is focusing on a task. So very simple, Patrick. You finish the task, I give you a increment of your salary, right? So based on task and reward. So there's a different effective leadership that you can consider. Yep, but what's the benefit and the challenge of diversity? Diversity, it means that you have different style of the people in your team, right? Not everyone cut out into the same way. Especially when you're managing the international team, right? Global team. Yeah, there's a benefit of a diversified group. Various perspective, enhancing creativity. It's why some company when they interview, they purposely select different type of people. Different experience it will improve the problem solving, right? But of course, that is not easy because if they are very different style, right? Sometimes we have communication issue, also the cultural misunderstanding, especially when you're managing the international team. So the importance of the infusion ensure that all members feel valued, right? Don't tell them, oh, you are useless. Other team member is better than you. If you say this, actually you are cultivate, the disappointment among the team, right? They may not able they behave, or they don't want to behave, or they don't want to produce a higher goal for you. So enable full contribution for everyone, right? Because that is the whole organization benefit to everyone, right? Of course, we need to have strategy to enhance the inclusion. So if they won't be developed by themselves, as a leader, you need to cultivate this culture, enhance the culture. So for the inclusion, setting inclusion norm, especially guideline to promote equality, right? And all the new member coming, you might have a proper welcoming environment, encouraging open dialogue, okay, from the leader to the team leader, the manager, okay, all might have a very good, clear communication, right? Yeah, and sometimes we mention address some unconscious bias. The best way is to using training. In fact, training is the best. I always mention good leader, entrepreneurs, you should be a coach. You see yourself as a coach, right? So you don't assign tasks, coaching them, teach her how to handle, and of course promote a fair treatment and a decision. They are building a culture competency, we sometimes we call culture intelligence (CI). educate employee with different culture, and sometimes post them into different location, different countries to experience the intercultural relationship. And of course, you must make sure that you have a very clear guideline, make sure that everyone respect each other. Yeah, precisely, right? Bruno mentioned coaching leadership. That is very, very important. Coaching leadership, right? So what about virtual environment? We all understand that now there is a lot of digital platform, a lot of digital technology allow us to attend the group meeting without face to face, right? Or we call non-physical or offsite. So this kind of online we call virtual group, there's a lot of challenge we must understand. The challenge is it will limit verbal cues. That is not easy. Verbal clue, right? So limited non-verbal clues. Okay, yeah. So verbal we can explain. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Non-verbal it means they are feeling. It's very difficult for us to see, unless we are really concentrate looking at the camera, right? You don't tell a camera, you don't even know that they are smiling or they're angry or they are just ignore what you're saying, right? So they are challenging in the virtual group, limited on non-verbal clues, the time zone difference, right? So the technology issue, of course, the speed of the line, currents, all these things. So what sometimes we can share with each other about the best practice. Yeah, we are using Zoom for our communication, right? And of course, we also can apply the others technology like Team, Slack, a lot of technologies available. But we need to make sure that they have a clear goal and role every time when we call a meeting. We need to be very clear about our agenda. Maintain regular communication. Okay, I don't really agree that a group member they only meet, have online meeting as and when they need, right? But of course, you can establish a relationship, then you can go for that. But in a new team, you need to have regular communication, and then you will foster a sense of community. You feel you're the part of this whole group. So in the workplace, we need to improve the team building. And sometimes also we need to incorporate the project management in the whole entire workplace. This is why certain tools like Monday.com, all these tools, they actually also including the project management scheme, right? Okay, or Jira, all these platform. And enhancing the organizational culture, very important. Culture is where they like or not, right? A lazy culture, you cannot attract a talent, right? Too relaxed. But if too high pressure, also you will be, rejecting talent because they find that it's too pressurized, right? Especially now, all the Gen Z, okay, and upcoming Gen A Alpha stuff, right? So they may not like that kind of very strict culture. So, but anyway, promoting positive work environment is good, encouraging mutual respect, understanding, right? And just how we mentioned, how you handle conflict. Don't expect there's no conflict. Sure, got conflict, right? So, but identify them earlier, address them, all the issue promptly. And of course, our goal is to help to increase the employee engagement. So let's get into different area, right? So for example, in education, right? So in education, normally we encouraging peer learning. Okay, in our program, Monday that we do forum more towards sharing knowledge. But when you go to class, on the Zoom lesson, then we're encouraging peer learning, right? Especially the AI peer learning is very, very powerful, right? We've experienced in a lot of teaching within our system. Enhance critical thinking. We understand that AI may be able to help us a lot, but we must be the one doing the critical thinking, right? This is our value. Improve communication skill, effective group activity through understanding about the student dynamics, right? So within the school, within education. So how about in the therapy, right? So yes, we can able to using interpersonal process for healing. That is how in the healthcare industry. Once you have a good trust among the member or the doctor or the healthcare provider, it's much easier. And in the therapy environment, definitely you need to empathy is very important and support. That is why The group dynamic is very, very widely used by therapists. The community development and this you can able to mobilize a lot of resources, especially if you want to develop a online community group, right? So there's a lot of resources actually you should deploy. So now, look at last week talking about individual behavior, right? So some of you may encounter this 16 personality test. So it's very interesting. Okay, recently get a lot of attraction about this 16 personalization test. So what is this, right? So basically, it's based on BMTI. BMTI, okay? BMTI is the developed by Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, right? It's a mother and daughter researcher. They did it together, right? And also it developed by the Carl June theory of psychological type, and also developed by the Catherine Cookbridge, okay, and Elizabeth Bridge Cook, okay, the mother and daughter team. So the reason why we need to come up with this and getting very popular worldwide recently, right? Because it helps people understand themselves better. Sometimes it's very interesting. We don't really understand ourselves very well, okay, until we're doing certain testing, right? It explores how individuals perceive the world. And as a leader, when we do interview, when we select a team member, we must remember what type of style they are. It may be wrong, right? Something may be wrong, or they can change when they have more experience, or as when they have more knowledge, right? The style may change. But the thing is that it's good to as a reference. I always mention it's a reference, and it will help us to make a lot of good decision making. Right? So then it have been developed by the academic or used by academia and psychologists. We use it in the workplace, relationship, education, and of course personal goal. And if you're interested, you can go to this 16 personalities.com. You can do a test. So here, this session will share with you what it is about. The purpose and the scope of the guide, right? So MBTI framework is talking about segment individual character into different type. So there's a 16 type. You can apply in a lot area, especially in the personal development, application in a professional setting. Okay, so what is the theory? The theory actually break down into four types, okay? And one is a sensing intuition. The other is a thinking and a feeling, and one is the extroversion and introversion, and the other one is the identification pattern, right? So let's go through it. So, um, first category is the E and I, extroversion via introversion, right? So E and I. In fact, they keep the letter E and I as an indicator later. So, extrovert, we know that if we're drawing energy from interacting with people and the external environment, right? So you see that a lot of people like social, it's very sociable, expressive, action-oriented, right? So they are type of extroverts, right? So E. Introversion, okay, is recharge through solitude and reflection. So spend a lot of time into inner feedback, right? Yeah, so they prefer deep depth over brief in relationships. So they make friends. Yeah, they still have friends. They still like to talk to people, right? But they like to talk to those people they are very close with them. They know each other very well. They really invest time. Okay, yeah. So that is a type, okay, on that. So it doesn't mean that we are people born in this area, so sometimes may change. Okay, the other one is a sensing S and M, right? S. So it's a sensor. They sense, they feel, right? Yeah. So they will focus, but sensor, they will sense the sensor. They collect external information, right? So they will look at the present reality, the fact, the information, the detail, practical, observant, and grounded. So they will base on this and make decision. Intuitive is they based on their own idea, feeling, prefer the pattern, the idea, and possibility. They apply a lot of imagination. Abstract thinker, they will enjoy, they enjoy fear racing. Okay, so S is focusing on the fact. Okay, sometimes we call qualitative, right? Yeah, and then the intuitive is more for quantitative. Okay, so thinking and feeling, right? So thinking, it means they will based on logic, fairness, and objective, the truth to make the decision. Feelers, they will make decision based on the value, empathy, and the social. Okay, they seek for harmony and prioritize people. It's more people oriented. Okay, thinker is very much on the fact. So that's the T, yeah, right? So there's another type. Okay, another type is judging and perceiving. So what is the judges? They will prefer structure, plan, decision, okay, decisiveness. They have very organized way, okay, punctual and task focus. So everything they will break down into very clear tasks, the flow, and will based on they will execute one by one. Okay, so the perceivers, perceiver, they will look at the value, flexibility, right? And also they will accept, it's an acceptable inquiry, they're open to changing plan. So even you plan properly, but because of certain situation, they will change. Very flexible. Right? So this is called J and P. So after all this, right, amazing thing is that you can, after you categorize it, then you are able to have different type. Okay, yeah. So there's a four type here. Okay, there's a 16 type, right? So analyst, all right, diplomats, sentinels, explorers. Okay, so there's a four type. So let's look at that. So analyst, what's analyst? Okay, analyst is INTJ. Okay, so don't worry too much on that. You will forget, right? What's INTJ? Okay, we don't go through one by one, but just show you the overall. And of course, if of you are interested, you should do a test, and you should also find out what each of them mean. But I just feedback on INTJ, right? So just go back into. So J is judging, right? T is thinking. N is intuition, and I is introversion. Okay, yeah. So just okay. So don't worry on that. Basically, if you say INTJ, and it form in this analyst, they form under this architect. Okay, yeah. So what's the architect? The architect is strategic, independent, and analytical. Right? They are a visionary mind and a perfection. Okay, it's perfect. Everything go for perfectionism. But that sometimes it can be a lot of pressure, right, for yourself. Then we have the other is a logical, the commander, and the debater, right? Yeah. So again, I don't go into each of them, right? But I just pick what is the debater. Well, debater has a lot of energy. Okay, right? So and so much energy, and then they love engage in the in the thought provoking conversation. They can argue with you, give you a lot of debate, but they love debate, constantly seeking for idea, right? So that debate. Okay, yeah. So then and then under the diplomat, so this type is an intuitive plus feeling, right? So they are the INFP, the advocate, mediator, okay, a protagonist, and also the campaigners, right? So that's another type, very interesting. Okay, so you can do a test, you can see on that, right? Then the sentinel, and also break down into four category, right? Yeah, so they have a logician, defender, executive, and the consul. And if the last one will be explorer. Explorer also we have a different category, right? Yeah. So each of them, for example, we look at the entrepreneurs, right? So ESTP is an extrovert. They like to social. They like to social. They're very sociable, right? Yeah. And what is the S? Okay, yeah. So they're the sensing type, right? So you look at that, sometimes we can refer back, right? So what is the sensing type? Focus on the reality fact, detail, right? And then they're very practical and grounded because right now to be entrepreneurs, right? You cannot just anyhow put all your investment into certain area, right? So you need to collect a lot of data, right? So sometimes this style will help you, right? So they are energetic, perceptive, life. They have a goal in mind, especially for those successful entrepreneurs. Charismatic, charismatic. Also, their character attract a lot of people follow you or joining your company, right? Practical and able to do well in dynamic environment. Okay, yeah, yeah. So okay, good, 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 good. Yeah. So I saw uh by you, right? By you. Okay, sorry if I pronounce wrongly. Yeah, you have been using the 16 personality to conduct the test for the student. Yeah, this is excellent. This is excellent. Right. Yeah. So use that. Okay. So I think this week, we highlight this better again because of time. We cannot go through every single thing, but use it. Amazing. Okay. The worldwide they are really crazy about this approach, and although it's not new, okay, but a lot of people apply that for education. Then after that, once you identify, then you can look at your career development, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So INTJ, they try as an analyst and good in Excel as a scientist. So again, don't go in detail. Please look at that. Very interesting. After you do a test, you're able to. They will recommend you certain type of job you may like. It may suit you. So when we understand this MBTI methodology, right? So then what is it useful? Why is so useful? We can use it to help to understand the team members. Ah, so no longer we don't need to guess. Roughly we know what is the profile. And they argue with you not because they don't like you. Okay, don't worry, Patrick. Be calm. Because there's the character, the behavior. They are like this, right? So when you understand that, you can improve communication with the team. And then when you assign the task to them, right, then you know because certain task is good for certain type of people. They will do very well. If you assign task to a wrong person, it's not because they are not committed to the work. It's not they are not productive because they are not suitable for this type of job. And when you have conflict, most likely because it's a clash between different type of characteristic behavior, right? So in this case, you can use it for conflict resolution. And of course, end of the day, you can increase your satisfaction by improve the appreciation for different thinking style, right? Yeah, different people is worth to appreciate, but because of different style, they have different relationship behavior. So then the personal relation is very important. Once you establish a good relationship, right, then you can able to resolve the conflict. And then the appreciation of the differences, especially in the global team environment, right? The feeler prioritize emotional validation. So the feeler, right? That's how we mentioned about the feeler, the T, right? The app, the app. Then the thinker will focusing on the practical solution. Sometimes it's good to combine them together, right? If you are, let's say, two leaders, and one is focusing as a feeder, the other thinker, this very well. So when you form a team to start your entrepreneurship journey, right? Then first you must understand what style are you, right? Then you find someone not the same as you, they're different than you. Then you'll have chance, your chance of success is higher. Then in terms of time management, structure plan the time properly, right? But sometimes too much planning is what? Plan for fail, right? Right? So sometimes we cannot plan too much, especially the environment changing so much. Then you will have, okay, you may have perseverance to make changes when it's necessary. Then you can also form a very strong connection among them. So we talk about educational and learning style of an organization, right? Yeah, so actually is very interesting. Okay, the sensor they learn best through hands-on activities and the structured materials. I not say this is not a good student, but they prefer that They prefer hands-on activities. Intuitive and enjoy very abstract concept and theory. They think that practical is waste of time, too slow. They want to quickly get the theory and concept they understand, right? So this is their style. So and introverts and extroverts, if you're talking about in terms of the learning, introvert prefers solo project. Right? Don't get me involved in the team member. I don't like the team member, right? So extrovert love the team, right? With the team, a lot of happiness, sadness, but end of the day, they just enjoy process. Right. So yeah, so sometimes you must understand the environment. Then what is the strength and weakness of different type? Here it lists down the different type on that, right? Yeah. So then let's say for example for INTP, right? So the strength is very analytical, logical thinking. Okay. But sometimes too logical, you may struggle follow through because you may have a lot of argument during the whole process. Right? I'm not so sure whether you encounter working with some of the friends. They're very analytical, logical thinking, but every time they keep on asking you why you do that, what's the basis, and you may feel a lot of time is wasted, right? But for them, without without clearance of all these reasons, then they don't move. So yeah, so there's a strength and weakness as well. But based on the MBTI, no type is labeled as better or worse. That is very, very good statement. I really like it. Right? Because it just happened like this. There's no, I'm no, this type is not better than the other type. There's no such thing called better or worse. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I saw a chat, right? So mostly I use MBTI and DIS as a initial testing for people joining. That's very good. Excellent. Right? Yeah. And but um, this is based on past experience that have often been disappointing. Right? I'm not so sure whether after using the method you're disappointed or you because of disappointment then you're using this method. Right? Yeah. So, but I think end of the day using all the tools as a guideline, as an additional process, right? So which tool you is the best is depend on you, right? You must, but it's a very good. Million people have been using it, and a lot of leaders actually apply that. So I'm not so sure does it fit into any environment, but it's worth trying. Worth trying. And the of course, a lot of people also commend that their methodology, right? So some of them may say, okay, MBTI led robust empirical support. Uh, yes, okay, because there's no a lot of theory, a lot of academic general to support that, right? So not widely accepted in scientific psychology concern about reliability and validation, right? So compared with the big five personality trait that we have covered, okay, Chance had covered last week, right? Yeah, there's a difference. And in terms of the scientific community, the big five is better. So again, that's what my point. My point is using different method that you comfortable, and then you observe whether this method apply in your business environment, right? So I think that is more my point. Yes, but you talk about stability over time, right? Force choice between extreme, right? So sometimes we can. It's very difficult for us to trying this using the same method, but sometimes we consider about test and retest reliability. You can apply a few times or in different group in organization and see how stable is it. Right? Yeah. And we have this binary categorization. Binary categorization is basically it further categorize individual in the binary type. And of course, if you talk about employment decision, and some of them they argue that should you be using this for interview because if you categorize the talent or some of the potential worker in this one, you may if anything go wrong, or because remember this is a assign this is an assessment the person may not telling you the truth. Remember that, right? If you apply in the employment, so they will purposely give you the answer to guess what type of people you like to hire, and then I answer it this way. Okay, so yeah, just be careful. I think AI in future may able to help on that. So, but anyway, this is what we mentioned about the modern 16 personality, personalities framework, right? Yeah. So, then we have introduced a very framework on that. Okay, so now this session we talk about the dimension of the work team. The definition of work team now, right? And it's not group work team. It means they are formed for working purposes. This is called work, teamwork. Teamwork, okay? From the word team, of course. The teamwork, right, is a collaboration. Is a collaborative effort of individual. They work together for a common goal, right? So that's called teamwork. And they will collect output, assess individual collective output, assess individual effort, obviously, right? So instead of putting individual combined together, they were able to produce more. What's the benefit of teamwork? And the diverse skill, different type of experience, different angle of viewing perspective, and of course, combined together, they are able to have more effective outcome and more creativity generated. So when we are looking in the teamwork, then we need to also explore about the coordination. Coordination is very important because we need to make sure that all the tasks assigned to him, they are aligned. Many times we realize it. After they finish the job, right, somehow the project failed. It's not because of the teamwork is not there. It's because the task is not aligned. They deviated, and they are not achieved the same goal. That is a common problem. And the communication is very important. The trust among the team. It's very, very difficult to put a stranger in the team. They don't have previous working relationship. They don't know each other. So to build a trust, right, it may take longer than your project that duration. And sometimes if you have trust, you trust each other, then it's good thing is you will encourage a risk taking and innovation. Of course, mutual respect is very important. Sometimes we may not be able to insist our opinion. Sometimes we need to compromise. And of course, end of the day, the best thing is share success and responsibility. So key component of the effective teamwork, right? So again, we mentioned clear goal and roles, open communication, the trust, different skill put together. Don't put everyone with the same skill into a team. And we need to set a accountability KPI, right? So we can do a measurement, and also we have flexibility. If anything change, we can adapt. The adaptability is very important also. So in terms of business, role of the teamwork is mainly is to achieving the strategic goal. That is reason that we break the company into the different department and function, right? This month the subject is called organizational behavior. So once we understand that, we know how to break the team member into different functions or departments. And the typical department is marketing, finance, operation, and technology. The benefit of effective business team, it will increase the innovation. Okay, and we can do a better problem solving, and of course, we want to increase the productivity. So again, we apply into this education sector, right? So many university, okay, educational institutions, school, they have group project. A group project become very important instead of just paper exam. It will enhance the communication skill. It will prepare students for the real world work environment. And also we're encouraging constructive feedback among the peer. We call peer review. But sometimes we ask the peer to mark the assignment and give the feedback. It will develop the critical thinking. The team-based learning is able to improve the teamwork and collaboration. and it will able to learn how to manage in the conflict. I'm sure that group, student, workforce, they will have a crisis. Okay, the crisis is where in conflict. So then conflict management is very important, and they will also promote appreciation of a diverse environment. So it will apply in the healthcare environment, right? So yeah, the comprehensive patient care and involve the doctor, nurse, therapy, and then all the administrator. They will make sure that all the whole aspect of the patient health are addressed. And we don't want to have medical error, right? It sometimes can be a fatal error, cause people death, right? So, it will improve the patient outcome, and end of the day, it will boost the staff morale. Sport is one of the industry, one of the area that definitely, require teamwork, right? So we call synchronization action. The player work together, right? Especially you work like for football, sport, basketball, right? Teamwork is very important, right? So coordination is the key to success. So among them, right? Among them, the player actually rely on each other, building trust. This is why if you're the coach, when you form a team, they make sure that they know each other. It's why a lot of exercise, a lot of team bonding activities. They will start before you actually send the player for practice. So following the coach strategy is very important. And coach normally lay down the game plan, and the coach need to clearly address the vision, guide the team. So individual talent will contribute to the team goal, right? And of course, success is there if you are there united. So how about the technology and innovation, right? So how about in this today, the innovative environment, especially AI industry? Yes, the role of cross-functional team is very important. So they involve engineer, designer, the business analytics together so that they're able to have a successful product development. We mentioned about this agile methodology, right? So for those you study the project management, the agile methodology becomes a standard now. Okay, the Scrum is one of the process that will emphasize iterative teamwork. So it means that it's not like you fix a specification or product and then after that just go ahead to develop until the end. No, it's not going to be work. It's not going to be working. Because environment change, requirement change. So most of the time we need to repeat the process and go back. For example, go back into design and then we do a certain coding or even go back to the requirement from the user, right? So this is called interactive environment. So of course that will be the interactive teamwork. So it allow us to adapt to a user need quick promptly instead of waiting for that. So the user must involve a lot in this process. What kind of challenge in teamwork? Poor communication, conflict. They don't see each other equally. Certain members dominate the whole environment. Entrepreneurs or the manager never explain clearly about the direction. In a team of different norm, different behavior, different type, right? Remember the 16 personality test, right? So it can be a lot of cultural differences. And the way we address that also require a very effective leadership. So just mention one more time about effective leadership. Set a clear vision, okay, and foster inclusion for respect everyone, all the members, resolve the conflict on time, and also encouraging growth. And of course, when you make it, celebrate. Okay, a lot of us will never celebrate. Even small achievement is good to celebrate, right? A team building, and if you find that your team is new and they have some conflict, instead of working on the project, right, just put them out for half a day and do some team building activities. Right? There's a lot of activity, a lot of workshop, available, and we can able to engage a third party to do it. Technology actually can help us. Technology transformation in the team collaboration. right? You can help us to redefine how the team work together, and we can able to have this virtual teamwork among the different location. As I mentioned, that the Slack team, Zoom, all these are the virtual team environment, right? The project manager also we can use it so that instead of working depend on the people, they depend on the system, right? Asana, Jira, right? Trello, all these things is a very useful project management pack. But also, we have a challenge because then just take look on all the challenge and also, especially in the various location, right? KPI is still very useful. Last time we are very popular. This balance scorecard is very popular. We call KPI, key performance indicator. Why is very useful? Because it can help us to evaluate whether the team meet or exceed the objective, right? The other one is that also measure the engagement, the motivation of the team, so that everyone we can benchmark each other. And if we're able to process efficiency, assess how well the team managing the workflow. And sometimes once the team align properly, we have putting in at the KPI measurement, and you were able to generate a lot of new idea, improve the process. Otherwise, KPI may not be able to achieve. Feedback is very important. So many organizations today, they are doing this 360-degree feedback. Okay, yeah. So we provide very comprehensive insight from all directions, not only one direction, not just sales. All right, they look at the whole, they scan the whole environment, identify the strength and weakness, and do a peer review. Uh, some of the project that we can demonstrate, right? Then the Apollo mission long time ago, right? So there's a lot of teamwork, and also the PISA bring trust, and also global vaccine development, right? So we can look at that. It's always successful teamwork. Um, so how can we cultivate the teamwork skill, right? As a leader, entrepreneurs, we must be an active listener. We must sense what's happening, and we must show the empathy. Um, Adjusting the role and feedback. Sometimes they come in, they may have different expectation, right? We must adjust the environment. Constructive feedback, and again, one more time, the conflict management. The conflict management is always a challenge. Now we ask ourselves how AI can help us, right? In this the dynamic workflow environment. Yes, human and AI actually can collaborate very well. AI and automation transforming industry. And we shape the whole entire workflow through the AI. It's a very important for human because the AI actually, when you combine together, we're able to work together and we create a lot of new law, okay, in the team environment. So now it's not only the team, you and we are member, now it's you member with the AI. Okay? Become a new team, or team plus AI. So before we introduce that, right? So what is the global challenge? Okay, right now, we look at the broad view of the whole environment, whole Earth, right? So of course, the climate changes, pandemic, right? So recently we just got hit by the COVID, right? Also, the economy unequal inequality, right? So this the poverty is among the countries still there, right? Also the teamwork, okay, among the cross-section and cross-border collaboration. So we can see that a lot of conflict among the country now, right? Okay, so this is reason that we introduced this term called collaborative intelligence. How can we incorporate AI into a human team? When we define the collaborative intelligence, how can we define that? It's basically is a new direction that we are exploring is human and AI system working together. We still many research is still based on the research on AI, how AI can help human, right? But actually, we all agree, we should agree that human cannot replace AI, AI cannot replace human. Each of them have their own uniqueness. But the point is, how can the human and AI work together? That is what we call collaborative intelligence. And we must leverage each each other strength, and then they mitigate individual weakness, right? So, what is the traditional automation? Traditional automation replaces human work, right? Yeah, and collaborative intelligence, person co-creation. Now, that is the term, co-creation and co-partnership. If we look at the historical context and resolution, in the early AI application in automation, they're focusing on the rule-based automation. So you tell the AI, the robot, certain thing, they just follow. That's what they do. They listen to you. They just keep on repeating the task. So that is the early part. When the deep learning come in, AI able to expand the insight and prediction. So they're not just listening to your instruction and repeat, keep on doing the same thing. They are able to support the very compressed decision-making process. So they get into your decision-making process. Finally, the AI tools has already evolved from isolated system into become your collaborative partner. That is a milestone. That's why AI get us so interested. So then, of course, we need to understand what is the theoretical framework, right? So the social technical system theory, there's one theory, they were able to help us to explore the social and technical element within the team. And the other one is we call augmented intelligence model. The AI enhanced human collective capability. Now, our as a human, okay, let's say as an entrepreneurs, we make decision by our experience, our skill, the information we got. Now the whole process we call human collective capability we change, we enhance, we improve by the AI technology. So this human-centric, okay, we call human-centered AI. This basically it designed the AI system that transparent, ethical, and aligned with human value. The AI right now, just like a boy, right, or girl, they don't know what's your value. They just do whatever thing that they can do. So now we need to teach them, align them with the human value. This is what we call human-centered AI. We are not talking about just AI. We're not talking about predict AI, generative AI. No, we're talking about human-centered AI. Basically, human are the hardcore of the AI system. So, question: what are the role in the modern team? Right? So we can put the AI into play different role. First, AI can be your advisor. They will offer you data-driven recommendation. Just like we play TikTok, right? It's an advisor, right? So they will learn what kind of video you like and then plot out an algorithm and suit you and just keep on fitting the related video to you. So we're going to see a lot of this advisor. The other one, AI is your coordinator. Will manage your workflow for you and based on the agentic AI technology, right? So they will automate the tasks and you just tell them they will do it for you. So this is called task distribution. The other area is called analyzer. Process huge data for the insight. For example, you want to buy stock, right? Of course, not now, right? So you can ask AI to do a lot of analysis and recommend certain stock, right? Yeah, some of the broker are already doing these tools, right? But I think it's still not that accurate, right? Obviously. So what is called automator? Automator is they will handle repetitive and no value tasks. So the data entry job will be gone, right? The repeating task, you don't need to hire someone to do it. Low-end secretary, low-end programmer will be replaced, right? So because they are AI become your automator. Monitor is very boring job. Okay, every day you look at the monitor, look at the data, right? And it's very boring. We don't like to do that, right? So, but we got no choice because monitor is very important. Now AI can be your monitor in your team. So you can tracking performance, alerting deviation. Okay, so when you set up a company, right? So now what you can do is very interesting. You have team of human, doing certain job, but you have team of AI. They will do all the role, this all role for you. Right? So they will enhance the human capabilities, as I mentioned, cognitive augmentation, emotional support, right? When you say I'm very sad, I'm very unhappy, AI will help you. Maybe give you some joke, okay? This is my joke, this one, right? So, but AI may be helping you to because a lot of problem when you get into depression is they are not aware, they did not monitor their emotion. So this monitor can help you. The physical augmentation, right? You can see that robotic application, robot in healthcare, manufacturing, all this is already using. Okay, so that is enhance the human capability. But we need to be very clear about the role. The role clarity is very important. We need to define the task handled by AI and what is the task responsible for our human. Otherwise, your team will think that, wow, you have AI coming and we are not, when AI learn whatever thing I learn, I know the boss will kick me out. No. You have to be very clearly tell them that what is your role, what is the AI role. And you need to rethink communication pattern because the communication process between humans and human and AI are very different. So you need to create another process. But end of the day, the trust building is still there, regardless of whether you're using AI, right? So building trust within the team and AI, okay, ensure team member trust AI output. You may encounter that a lot of people they still against AI. So whatever thing that interesting, exciting thing you share with them, right? About the AI, they say, it's not true. Is it true or not? Okay, you can test it. So there's a lot of people actually against AI. They don't trust AI. So before you put AI into your team, please ensure the team member trust AI. You might have a feedback channel, allow interactive learning between AI and human. And of course, your staff must be able to use AI. This reason that why we have this program called BAIS, right? So basically, because then one end you're learning the AI technology, the other end you're learning the AI business process. Okay, so that kind of training is very relevant and very important also. So what type of communication method between AI and human within your team? So the NLP, right, the large language model, I think we have been using it. It's very important. The other one is we call XAI. Okay, it's not Elon Musk XAI, right? But basically, in general, we call explainable AI. AI is telling you that why they come up with this answer. Why? Okay, you can change the AI thinking process as a user. This is what we call XAI, explainable AI. Okay, and then you're able to adapt language on the context sensitive or human friendly environment, right? So I don't know how many of you are already using AI during your driving, right? So when I drive, I don't have time, I very feel bored. So I'm talking to ChatGPT. So the ChatGPT will be able to communicate with you by the voice. So I learn a lot when I'm driving. Of course, I need to pay my attention. Okay, so yeah, so that is a way of communicating AI, in the team. So when you have this hybrid AI and human team, right? So what kind of leadership that you need to develop? Very interesting area also. So you need to have empathical uh, leadership. Okay, empathy is very important. We mentioned that one. So what is the empathy? Empathic leadership balance human emotion with machine logic. Okay, are we human when we work at AI? Sometimes we may be feel very frustration. So you need to balance the emotion, human emotion. And yeah, they must have a knowledge in managing the AI tools. Okay, sometimes they don't like AI, but they don't know how to operate. You must train them. And of course, end of the day, we need to ensure the data privacy because we're feeding AI a lot of things, right? and we need to maintain fairness and accountability in the AI environment. Yeah, there's a lot of real-world applications. The healthcare, the AI assistant diagnostic, the patient management, the finance, the fraud detection, the risk assessment, also the robot, okay, we call robot advisor. The marketing, predictive analysis and analytics and campaign, the optimization, right? When you put a lot of money into marketing campaign, we're sure that we want to have the best result. In terms of education, finally, we are able to, achieve personalized learning path. Instead of one teacher towards 40 students. No, the teacher with the coach within the professor with the AI, they're able to deploy personalized learning path. But that is kind of technology will be very useful. The psychological and also social consideration when we deploy AI, of course, job security concern. We as a human, we really worry that the AI will get our job, right? Then we don't have, we become jobless. We're managing this concern. Quality offloading and yep, so rely on AI may reduce critical thinking. We don't operate our brain, right? Everything we ask AI to do it. End of the day is we fire ourselves, not the boss fire us, right? So we cannot do that, right? So we need to enhance our quality thinking by using AI. The team identity. So see AI as an extension of yourself. Don't see AI as your threat. See AI make you more productive. See AI make you more clever. Okay, yeah. So that is the team identity for AI. Right. So then to conclude that, they say what is the issue? Yes, the AI. Make sure that the AI that you have, either you train or you're using the AI crowd, right? Ensure AI does not reinforce prejudice. Okay, yeah. So not bias, prejudice. Must be transparent. That's why the explainable XAI will be useful. We understand the way they think. Of course, the data that the AI, you feed them, right? The food that they eat is all the data that you are feeding them, right? So make sure that data and is protected. And also the IP is still respect, okay? So I think it's still a big issue right now. So hopefully can all the trend can be resolved. So what is the future trend in cooperative intelligence? Then I think in future AI will be more dynamic, better, and AI finally will able to understand the team dynamic in the real time. So when AI become a team member, they understand that some issue, some disagreement by looking at your facial description, your experience, analyze your type, right? Instantly they will understand your dynamic, team dynamic. And of course, EI, emotionally intelligent AI, right? So machine and recognize respond to human emotion. That is great. Right now, the AI that we are using is still based on our communication with the text, the language, right? But they don't really can tell us that, hey, Patrick, I think you are very angry now, so you should cool it down. So AI cannot achieve that. So emotional intelligent AI will be coming in. And of course, autonomous collaboration. This is very, very useful. So AI will initiate some interaction and subtraction, right? But without interfering the team. Okay, it just give you some idea, right? So that is very useful. And global remote team, AI able to even each party have different time zone. AI can able bridge the difference. So you can think that something like this, AI able to collect all the suggestion. Okay, you don't need to have a real time meeting, but they will collect all the feedback. They're able to deploy the message and collect the feedback in a different time zone. Right, so that is the future technology that in this collaborative technologies. So coming back on the educational organization and organization implication, right? So when we use AI, yes, they will for the education industry. That's what we are. AI literacy for all level of worker. Everyone must learn AI, not as a user. Okay, yeah. So this is why we created this BIAS program. And the all the curriculum must be changed. It will incorporate interdisciplinary study. When I say interdisciplinary study or cross-disciplinary study, it means that let's say for example for university, Okay, in Singapore, some university they're doing this. The first year, all the students, regardless of which degree you're going, go through a common subject. So they have over 20 over subject. You select. Then when you select the subject, right, then you find an interest, then you decide in the year two, year three, or year four, then you go for this kind of degree. Okay, so then this is a very interesting approach. And one of the university in Singapore, they branded as a first AI university in the world, right? So it's the SUTD. So they are doing this. Quite interesting. If you're interested, you can look at the curriculum. And redefine role also. So instead of task doer, you're doing the job. You have become AI orchestras and interpretators. So, okay, so then in this case, your role is to using AI, okay, to distribute the task instead of doing the task. Because AI can help you to do a favorite task. So actually it's very fun, very interesting, right? Yeah, sometimes keep on doing tasks is quite boring. But what is the barriers? There's a lot of barrier. For example, that a lot of people still have this fear and misunderstanding of AI technology. True, a lot of infrastructure issue, right? Company have invested a lot of money in building a lot of system we call legacy system, right? Traditional system, and they don't support AI. And luckily recently with the DeepSeek, Manners, okay, and GeoSpark, right? All this and Queen, Taobao, all these technology. So they're offering lower cost or even free for that. But in general, uh, the initial investment is still quite high for many entrepreneurs. And because of the unclear regulation of AI, right? So also it will become a big barrier obstacle for a lot of companies to adopt the AI. Then if you look at the crisis management, how we're handling crisis, when I say crisis, it means that something we must address, otherwise become disaster. That's what we call crisis. So can AI help us? Yes. It will support decision making. We have faster data processing for the critical choice. When crisis coming, we have different solution, right? So which one we should do? And it will help us to simulate the environment. So that's good. So that we can simulate using AI simulation. We can able to explore. And of course, using AI chatbot interface, we can deliver a more accurate information to a lot. Imagine that we got a big disaster going in. A lot of people call you, right? The phone number jam, no one can call in. The fireman is very busy, right? So you can deploy a lot of AI robot and able to, the chatbot, sorry, then able to deliver a lot of accurate information to a lot of residents, right? So all this is very useful, especially in the crisis. Within this role of cultural and diversity, including AI design, it will enhance the collaborative intelligence, the culture sensitivity, and the multilingual, and the design AI in the hitting different, reaching accommodating different user ability also, right? Yeah. So when we're measuring the effectiveness of human and AI teams, the productivity gain is there. The error, we can minimize the error, and also we can improve the innovation and engage the level. That is the reason that why we want to have human AI team. So conclusion is the collaborative intelligence and the future of work, right? They will shift from the execution to orchestration. Okay, orchestration. So orchestration is just like, you are no longer just execute a task, you will focus on high level job. And the human will go all the way higher, up into creativity and innovation level. And emotional intelligence, empathy, so that you can able to understand better about your team behavior and the interpersonal skill. And you are able to have a better strategic thinking and solving more complex problems. So finally, the cooperative intelligence, it will combine the human empathy with the machine efficiency, and creating a hybrid model for the team. Um, Designing system for flourishing, not choosing between human and machine. We no longer a question of whether we are using human or machine. It basically is both. We must integrate both. Organization will embrace this direction, cooperative intelligence, right? They're able to, of course, need to develop ethical AI development. Investing in the AI is good, but become not so efficient, right? So it's why we need to have innovation and together with AI for our business development. Okay, yeah. So very interesting topic tonight. Is a cooperative intelligence, right? Um, is anyone okay? Anyone want to share or any question? Okay, yep. Okay, if no, right? I think we just call it a night because it's a very long sharing session. And okay, so if any question, you can always chat with us again. And if no, okay, that's all. Okay, bye bye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Yeah.
Okay, good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Professor Patrick.
Bye bye.
Bye.